It's Friday night on BBC One.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series of Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. May I start by once again introducing you to my house band, 4 puffs and a piano, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, fellas, looking at you, have I got thinner or have you got a lot fatter?
Actually.
You have certainly piled on the pink pounds over the summer, haven't you? Before we start, I've got to say, even I watched England's game on Wednesday, and whatever the papers say, you have got to hand it to David Seaman. No, you actually do. You have to hand it to him. I could stand all night, but, well, frankly, that's a lie, because I'm 42 in November and I need to sit down and rest my one good hip. So, while I get comfy, boys, take it away.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the boy from Ipanema goes walking, and when he passes, each one he passes goes, ah.
See, if only I thought you meant it. I'm back. It's so nice to be back on a talk show, mainly because the guests tonight and all through this series are just so good. There is no D-list in my celebrity guest jungle. Darren Day wouldn't even make it past the bouncers. Like a regraded exam on this show, everyone's an A. Do you want to know who we've got tonight? Yeah! Here we go. Our first guest is Swedish, and she's probably the most talked about woman in Britain right now, except for in one house where she's strangely not mentioned at all. Ulrika Jonsson, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't she looking great, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you now, I would. And if I did, it would take up chapters 1, 2 and 3 of the next book. We have also got one of the finest stand-up comedians working in Britain today, Mr. Ross Noble. Evening, Ross. We have got the Queen of British television, Dame... I'm just planting the thought in your head, Ma'am. Dame Cilla Black. Wonderful. The lovely Cilla. I know what you're saying at home. You're saying, stop it, Ross. We're gorged already. But I have one last morsel for you. Singing live for you tonight in the show, it's Sir... That's not a hint, he's just a big Welsh bugger. Sir Tom Jones. All right, I'll admit a few of them are getting on a bit, but it's still a great lineup, isn't it?
Hey.
No disrespect, but look, it's like celebrity sheltered housing out there. You've got young Ross there to administer the medication. Now, in preparation for this series, I have been watching a lot of television, most notably the controversial Victorian drama Tipping the Velvet. Have you been watching this, ladies and gentlemen? At first, I tuned in thinking it was going to be a documentary about snooker. Luckily, not a ball in sight. Have you been watching it, fellas? Presumably the only 4 men in the country actually paying attention to the plot. For those who are not familiar, it truly is the BBC at its very best. Wonderful direction, painstaking attention to historical detail, but best of all, lashings of red-hot lesbo action. Now, to begin with, I wasn't convinced. The main lesbian seemed to be a full-on hard-bull dyke. But after half an hour, I realised I was on the wrong channel watching Ross Kemp in Ultimate Force. But I bring this to your attention because it has stirred up a huge controversy. Here's a headline from earlier in the week. Have a look at that one. Be braced for storm over girl-on-girl show. And the following day, after that one, the hurricane broke. It really struck. Lesbian show too clean, say angry viewers. Well, if you saw the episode on Wednesday night, let's just say Rona Cameron has bought a dehumidifier for her knicker drawer. Shall we get our first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. I think so. Here she is. She's been in the papers for the last couple of weeks. It is, of course, Ulrika Jonsson. Ulrika, it's lovely to see you. And you do look fantastic.
Thank you.
I think that top's on the wrong way round, though, isn't it?
Ooh, hard. Do you know,
no-
I've checked, but I was right that time. I put
Now,
it
this
on
is,
the
I'm
right
referring to, there was a show on one of the other channels, not a very good show, not a very good channel,
No.
the TV Awards, and you were there wearing a sort of high-neck thing with a hole cut out.
Yeah.
And the two ladies who present this TV show...
Fashion Police.
Yeah. Trini and Suzanne, I believe.
Yeah.
They come up and said it's the wrong way round.
Yeah.
And you switched it.
Twats. I'm a fool.
Well, you're not a fool. I mean, if they came and said that to you, you would think they knew what they were talking about.
Well,
but I think
exactly.
they were being...
She went up to me and she said, "And by the way, you're wearing that top the wrong way round." And I went, "Oh, let me have a look at your shoes." And I went, "Oh, like that." And she went, "Yeah, that's okay."
That's a good impression you're doing there. But they're like the posh girls at school who are just bullying you. That's what it is, isn't it? You know what you should do next time they come up? Punch them hard in the face. And say, "Now your teeth are the wrong way round." Your book's out this week. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't have not noticed this. You've been all over the newspapers. It's been serialised, and there was a Channel 4 interview with you, a documentary type thing. The book's called Honest, OK? I've been reading it. But, you know, this is the question which I think most people would like to ask you if they had the chance, is why do you write a book like this?
I think I've spent probably about 14 years sort of with my life completely in the public eye, and when I started writing the book, which was about 3 years ago, I found that I was reading about a person in the newspapers that I absolutely didn't know and that I didn't feel was me. And I guess, you know, I've had a lot of unresolved relationships and some not very good ones as well. And
you certainly can pick them, can't you?
Yes. But I think that the point for me was to try and charter my life, to have a look back and to place things in certain places and try and understand them for myself. So originally I sort of wrote it, I was just writing bits of parts of my life for myself just to see, because I find that that's quite a therapeutic way of going about things.
And presumably the shitload of money you've got has helped as well, I would have thought.
Well, I'm not in possession of a shitload of money yet.
They must be shoveling it through your coal hatch. Which is not a euphemism for anything unpleasant. I'm just saying...
I'd quite enjoy that.
You must have done well out of this.
Do you know, to be perfectly frank, I haven't, and I haven't yet, and I don't know what's going to happen. No, well, I know. There are figures
being...
being...
I read the serialisation rights were like 700
No,
grand.
there are figures being bandied around. Let me assure you that it was nothing near £700,000.
Hey, you've had a weird career, though, Ulrika, as I'm sure you are aware more than most, because I remember the first time I was aware of Ulrika, the first time I actually met you, and most people would have been aware of you, was when you were working at TVAM, of course, doing the weather. Well, and then you've gone on, you've done comedy, you've done documentaries of a nature, you've done all that kind of stuff over the years. Let me ask you, the highlights for you, what are the things you look back on with most fondness?
I don't know, I think in a way, you know, there's more or less everything that I've done, I'm proud of.
No, I'm not going to...
No, I really am. I'm trying to think back to... Because I've done so many kind of weird interviews with John Major, Gordon Brown, and then you go and do sort of...
We have the interview with John Major. We thought this would be a time thing to show. This was before the '97 election, I think.
Yes.
Here's a little bit of Ulrika interviewing John Major way back when.
I want to move on to family values a little bit. And I know that the Tories have made a great deal about family values, even in the thick of various scandals, you know, concerning your MPs, and I don't want to touch upon that at all, but what do family values mean to you in your life?
The family, it seems to me, is the unit from which society is built up. And when I talk of family values, I talk of the closeness and the shared experiences that families have.
What a slimy piece of work, eh? And you know what? You can see in his eyes, I think, that while he's interviewing you, he's talking about family values, and he's imagining you bent over the couch with your knickers down. Don't you think? Do you not think that's what he...
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Well, look at him, look, there you go. He is licking the inside of his mouth in anticipation. Was he at all with you? Did he come on to you at all? Did he seem flirtatious?
No. But he had a little glint in his eye. I mean, he was, you know, had that sort of charming little glint.
Him and Edwina Curry, eh? There's a thought I never wanted in my head. When you were there, how strong were his glasses? Do you think he needed...
Don't take me there.
Maybe when he went to the opticians, he said, yeah, give me the beer goggles I've heard so much about. OK, you've had sex with a lot of people, haven't you, Ulrika? I don't mean today. I mean, generally. Well, maybe today, I don't know. Maybe it's been a good day or a good week. I don't know, a good year. I don't know.
It's been a barren period.
But you've, I mean,
no,
you're not
I
going
don't think... No, hang on a minute, John. I don't think I have a lot of people. It's just that everybody seems to know about it.
Tom, by the way, is suddenly looking very interested in you. Now we've talked about... He's perked up.
But I don't know, was there a question there?
Yeah, just about, you've
but
had a lot of partners that we're aware of. Maybe that is it.
Hang on, a lot of partners that you're aware of. My husband and probably 3 or 4 other men, and that's it.
Well, OK, there was a couple of gladiators, OK?
Yeah, one of them was mentioned.
Right, there was a cameraman, one of the cameramen on this show you've had
he's
sex
also
with.
in the book, so that's
well, he's
2.
out back. I mean, come on, that's not casting our net very wide, and we found one.
I don't get out much.
Well, I can't name anyone in this building I've slept with. But I'm not criticising you. I'm just saying.
But I'm not defending it. All I'm saying, putting to you, is that you're saying, oh, you've slept with loads of people, and we've now got to 3.
Well, no, OK.
And my husband and the person I lost.
All right, and there was the bloke you lost your virginity to in Mallorca, or
Marbella.
Marbella,
that was unattractive.
Then it was your first boyfriend after that.
Yeah.
OK, well, we're rocketing up now, aren't we?
We're 7.
All right, OK.
I'm 35.
All right.
Now it's German and the Stan. That's 9.
All right, and then Sven.
And a half. See, all the men don't like that. Woo, football. 10 and a half, then.
Do you think,
Jesus, it was a joke. Lighten up.
You're making it worse. You can't call Sven a joke. Although maybe after the result this week you can, I don't know.
No.
Did you feel responsible for that? Because England did very badly.
Oh, please, grow up.
I don't know. I don't know anything about football. I'm assuming you sapped his strength in some way.
Nobody takes responsibility at all. Oh, no,
Hey,
no,
but
no.
Nancy, I find Nancy quite attractive.
Do you? That's nice.
I like, they asked you at the TV Awards, didn't they? Said, what do you think of her outfit?
And I said, it was lovely. And they go, oh, cuttingly, she said it was lovely.
I know, because they're looking for it. But she did look a bit like Dana International. This is, we're going to go into an area which is a serious area, and there's a bit in the book I read which I found genuinely... I mean, I do think the book's very well written, by the way. Did you write it yourself, or did you have help?
Absolutely.
You wrote it all yourself.
Every single... There's no ghostwriter.
It is very well written.
Thank you.
One thing in the book which I thought was both very moving, very powerful, you describe the evening that you're raped in the book. OK? And it was, really, I mean, obviously, it's a vile act, and one is aware of that. But when you actually read a first-person account of it happening to someone, it genuinely very much moved me, and I really felt for you. I'm very surprised that in a book which is otherwise completely honest, that you do not name the person. You talk about it in the book. Ulrika talks about being raped by a television presenter some time ago. You don't name this person, and you explain why at the time you didn't make a complaint against him, because you felt no one believed you. You felt understandably humiliated, embarrassed. But now that you've got the kind of courage and the wherewithal and the desire to talk about it here, I'm just surprised that you don't now name this person, because I think I know who this is. I genuinely do. I think I know who this person is.
You haven't... You can't say it on here. So
no, I don't intend to say it, because it's not for me to say. It's for you to say. I'm not saying you should say it now on the show. Yeah. I just find it very strange that...
Well, the interesting thing for me is that I wrote that, and that was all sort of put aside, and then it's what's called... A book is always legal. Do you look legally through the book as to if there are any points which should be looked at a bit closer? And I guess that was one very big reason for not, I don't know, putting that person in, unless I was willing to kind of go through with it all now. And since that happened, I've had 3 or 4 instances where people have talked about a person and said, God, and given me examples of situations that other people have been in, and it's the same person. And so that, in a way, was the only time, and I'm saying, like, in the last few years, where I've felt, oh, I am right, I didn't make it, because sometimes you might tell yourself, God, was it real? Did it really happen?
You've heard that maybe he's done this to other people. That must make you feel like, well, I could have intervened. Maybe I mean, I'm not trying to put the responsibility onto you. I'm really not. But that's what I just find it strange that you do talk about it. You have the courage to talk openly about it, and it's very moving, and it's a powerful part of the book. And yet you don't feel confident, or you're held back by the legal side of a book from actually mentioning something which actually fundamentally, if you're talking about setting the record straight with a book, I think that's the place I personally would wish to start. Not with, here's what the tabloid said about him that's incorrect. But he is a guy who's going around forcing himself on women to the point where they are made unwell, and he's still doing it.
But maybe you're right, maybe I am lacking in the courage to do that. I don't know.
Ulrika, you know, I genuinely really like you. Not that counts for anything after giving you a grilling of that nature, but I think the book will make you a lot of money. I'm happy for you if it does so. And I always look forward to seeing you on TV. I always enjoy seeing you on television because I think you're someone who doesn't take yourself too seriously, and yet you're very good at your job. So, you know, I congratulate you on having the honesty to write this book. I thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with everything. Ulrika Jonsson, ladies and gentlemen. It's very easy to be cynical, of course, but for once let me offer my heartfelt congratulations to Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones in a moving announcement on their website, which I think is www.turkeyneck.com. They've revealed that they're expecting the arrival of a new, beautiful, bouncing film. And a baby as well. Poor Catherine, 2 young babies and doddery old Michael to look after. She's out buying nappies for 3 as I speak. And this in the same week that boffins claim that after 35, men cannot get women pregnant. Did you see this headline? But this news has profoundly affected a lot of the men I know. If you listen carefully, you can just hear them punching the air and whooping with delight while nailing their secretaries commando-style. I'm insulted, though. How dare the boffins insult us, the over 35s? Without boasting, the Ross Cannon can still blast chewing gum off the pavement. Tom Jones is back there. Are you telling me that Tom is any less virile today than he was as a young man just 94 years ago? Coming in the BBC, he sneezed earlier on walking past the newsroom. He knocked up Kate Adie. And she was in Beijing on a video link. Should we get our next guest now, ladies and gentlemen? One of the funniest comedians it's been my pleasure to work with and to see live. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ross Noble. Ross Noble. Oh, he's on right here. I promise that Ross Noble.
Wow, how shiny is this?
You like that?
This is fantastic.
And that has been buffed for your sliding pleasure by Ulrika.
Do we actually... Oh, blimey. Do we have to do the interview? Can't we just have a bit of sliding?
It would be nice, although people with a wide ratio screen will be able to enjoy it. Other people just see you leaving and coming back in.
That would be quite good. You could get on the back, you could go one way, I could go the other.
Like a comedy windscreen wiper, you'd be.
Very much so. You know, the sexual energy in that room back there, I can't, honestly, it's just... You know, Cilla's there, Ulrika's there, and Tom is just... I'm not joking, right?
Tom is like an atomic generator of sexuality. And you know what? Tom can't turn it off. He cannot turn it off.
No, you know...
I was in LA, there was a hotel humming with his sexual energy.
Yeah, well, it's weird because he does... I've never met the man before, but obviously, you know, I've watched and kind of, you know, dreamt of being in his league. But I kind of met him and he hello there, and he kind of like, oh... Like that. You know that scene in Jurassic Park where the thing's like, boom, boom, and turn out the light, it's business based on movement. It's a boom, boom, it's just him, And I'm excited. Sorry, did you have any questions?
No,
I started my slide and I got a bit...
Ross, let me establish something, because Ross, I think, he's genuinely one of the funniest comedians I've seen before.
Thank you very much.
But one of the best-kept secrets of comedy, because you don't actually do a lot of TV.
Not a huge amount, no. Well, because a lot of it is rubbish. Isn't it? I mean, no, you know, I'm here, so, you know, but a lot of it's kind of, you know, it's all cooking and dating and, you know... Well, it is.
It's not just cooking and dating. And look, poor Cilla back there.
Oh, God!
You know, it's like...
I'm so... Is
that's
it all...
very... that's why you don't get invited on shows more often.
I can't believe what I've done.
She's my star guest, don't piss her off now.
The thing about Cilla is she is the most powerful person in the entertainment. Cilla could actually have me killed. I'm so sorry. What I mean was, it's cooking, right, and dating, and that element combined.
Ross, where do you come from, Ross? What part of the country do you come from?
I come from Newcastle. Just north of Newcastle.
You come from Newcastle?
Northumberland.
Both of your parents are from this part of the
They
world?
are, yes.
Are they
I know what you're going to say. I'm not Chinese. Before you even start, you do this every time.
But can we just get a close-up of Ross's eyes? Do they or do they not have an Asiatic turn to them? I bet you, when you walk past a wok, do you feel a strong urge to pick it up?
I've tried to look Chinese for a while.
You do look Chinese!
Well, I've obviously succeeded.
You look more Chinese than Jackie Chan.
Well, that's true. No, I just figure if you look a bit Chinese, then, you know, the Chinese live longer and people will treat you Chinese. And if you're getting treated Chinese all the time, you know, that's got to be a bonus, hasn't it? You know?
Ross is, you're almost always working, it seems.
Yeah,
You've just finished a big spell in London, I know that.
Yeah.
Are you touring again at the moment? Are you going to go around the country?
Well, I've actually got a week off because I was supposed to be doing some gigs in Indonesia and they've said I can't go now.
Well, they don't like the Chinese there, do they?
Well, that's very true, yeah, there's a little bit of tension. So, yeah, I'm kind of...
Seriously, were you going to gig in Indonesia?
No, I was going to go to Jakarta. I've done Jakarta before, and then I was going to go to Borneo, and I was like, yeah, and then, you know, it all kicked off.
But presumably you play only to British-speaking people when you're out
No, there's a touch of locals.
And what do they make of you?
Well, you know, if they can speak the Cantonese, I'll just slip into it and...
Sing long.
Yeah. Do you do a bit of that?
That means nothing.
Really?
That will get you beaten up in Hong Kong, though.
Well, because I love Kung Fu. I must admit, I'm not Chinese, but I do absolutely love the Kung Fu.
Are you wearing Kung Fu sort of shoes now?
I'm wearing a sort
What
of...
is that? It's like a rubber clog.
Yeah, like a Kung Fu slipper.
That's what old people wear for gardening. Yeah. But you've travelled all over the world. You've gigged in most places of the world, quite remote places.
I've done China. I did Singapore and where else? Blimey, Prague.
And you do material about the area when you're there. Do you say it's great to be here in Bucharest? And
yeah, and then just kind of, you know, go from there, really. I'm not really a big gag man, you know. I'm not one of these kind of like, hey, here's one about such and such. I kind of just go with whatever.
You just like to sit around insulting well-loved TV personalities?
Yeah. Could you not remind me of the fact that I have to take that long
I
walk
like that.
back?
No, it's nice. But where would you like to gig then? If there was one spot we could say we're going to drop you in a remote spot or somewhere you haven't visited before, is there a place that you have your heart set on performing?
Yeah, well, the one that I really want to do is the South Pole. And it looks like it's going to happen. Next year, I'm going to go to the South Pole. Seriously, I'm going to go in there and just, you know...
Who's there to see you in the South Pole?
4 blokes. Well, you know, there's like, you spend all day ice fishing, like that. Next thing, a poster goes up. You know, Chinese entertainment evening. You know.
They'll expect you to do a circus, though, when they see the look.
Yeah, nobles in town.
Where's the dragon?
Well, one of them big heads.
But does it travel well? Because your style of comedy is, when I see like it goes off into unexpected tangents. You perform, and you're right, it isn't kind of structured gag stuff. It's more observational and just weird stuff.
Yeah.
Does it? I mean, do people like it in other parts of the world?
Yeah, you just find the weird stuff that they like, and then off you go from there. You know, it's just kind of Sometimes the only time it was ever a problem was when I was in Singapore and I was talking about the Dukes of Hazzard. And the Dukes of Hazzard's never been, you know, played in Singapore. All mentions of the Dukes of Hazzard has been banned from the immediate Singapore area. So I'm out there like going, hey, and then Uncle Jesse. And they're all just kind of sat there like that with their arms folded in a kind of... But, you know, I went on and did an hour's lecture on the pros and cons of the Dukes of Hazzard. And we had a little musical number at the end and finished with square dancing.
How long were you in jail there for?
For over 15 years.
Yeah. You're sweating quite heavily now, I've just noticed.
Yeah, because I'm aware that I'm getting closer to Cilla.
What are you going to say to... When you get back, what are you going to say to Cilla?
Well, I'm going to strip nude as I leave.
She doesn't want to see that.
I've kind of done a terrible thing, haven't I?
No, not really, you know, because you know the great thing about Cilla is she knows you've come out here to entertain and it was merely in jest.
That's true. And then just before she gets her heavies to kick my head in, you know, she gives me a list of things that, you know, she's going to do to me. And then she goes, and here's our Graham with a quick reminder. Will it be number 1, a great big sword in your arse? Will it be number 2, a bamboo around the back of the legs? Or will it be cheeky number 3, on a rack as she turns it heavily, stretching your limbs?
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been enjoying the peculiar sexual fantasies of Mr. Ross Noble. Yes, well done. Thank you very much. Ross Noble. Off. Go and say sorry. Go and apologise. Now. Should we get our next guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Here she is. She sat through the first part of the show very happily while being insulted by a wave-faced poltroon, but she's still good enough to come out here. It is, of course, the Queen of British television, Cilla Black.
Independent, throw your hands up and bang. All the honeys making money.
Cilla, you look absolutely incredible. You look wonderful.
Thank you, darling.
Because you must be, you are, I mean, you've never really got big, but you put on a little bit of weight over the years. But now you're so slender at the moment.
I do, well, it's... My lifestyle has totally changed now.
Because you're out partying all the time with Dale Winton, it seems.
Dale is such an early person.
No.
He really is an early person. We went to... Well,
What, you mean he goes to bed at 4?
No. It really is.
Does he go to bed early?
Yes. I went to Spain. I have a house in Spain. And Dale came over to stay. And there was a crossover. Because you know Savage... although Dale, they both adore each other.
So hold on, so you've got these two friends who are both the twin pillars of the gay showbiz community. You've got Dale Winton and you've got Lily Savage.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I
Now,
have.
do you go out all three together?
Well, it was a crossover, if you pardon the pun. So as it was Savage's last night, he wanted to go out and really party, whereas Dale, you know, likes an early night. I'm in bed by 11 when I go out with Dale. So I don't mind that. I like that because I love Dale's company. But on this night, we went clubbing down the Port of Banús. And...
Can you imagine the three of them walking in a bar?
We went out clubbing and there we were having a drink. And of course, Savage had a few because it was his last night. And there was lots of people there, you know, in our group sitting down, and they said, well, they asked the same question, how come the three of you can, you know, don't you go crazy all together in the same house? He said, no, this is Savage, no, I'm going home tomorrow. Him the good fairy, me the bad fairy. He calls him Nurse Winton.
But only for cash, I believe, isn't that
No.
Only when he's got the gloves on.
Actually, I didn't really want to come on because it's so much fun back there.
Are you having a good time?
Well, yeah, because I'm sat next to Tommy, aren't I?
No. Well, you guys must go way back. You must have met so many times over the years.
Oh, we go back a long time.
Is there something you'd care to share with us here? Is there any Ulrika-style confessions to make?
No. Actually, Tom did my very first BBC show, live BBC show that I ever did, of the Cilla show.
You know, I love showbiz from that period. I love TV shows from that period. Because, well, they were just different, weren't they? There was, I'm going to show a clip.
It was all live for a start.
But they were huge shows. I mean, they were so popular, weren't they?
Well, those were the days, well, we didn't have all, you know, the television, all the channels that we have today. So you could command a viewing audience between 18 and 22 million.
We have a clip here. This is from Cilla's Saturday night show, way back when. It was just called Cilla, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, you didn't... Before Madonna, you only needed the one name as well, you know. She makes a big deal about it. This, I believe, is from 72, I think.
Is it?
So it makes it virtually 30 years old, which is mind-boggling. But I think you'll see TV has maybe improved in some ways since then, but in other ways,
it has.
I think we've lost a lot. Have a look at this. This is Cilla in action almost 30 years ago.
Some dreams, they were clouds in my coffee, clouds in my coffee, and you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I'll let you think this song is about you. Don't you, don't you, don't you?
Very moving.
Who was that? Was that Peter Beardsley you were dancing with there? But I don't think you'd get away with it on TV now, because he was having like a threesome out there. He hadn't even taken his jacket off. But, you know, you must have had your wild days, I guess, because there was a documentary show on recently. I mean, we think nowadays, especially, I suppose it's more widely reported in the newspapers, but we think about what goes on now, and you think that the stars of yesterday didn't do that. But there was that recent Channel 4 documentary, The Showbiz Set, which showed, you know, orgy parties at Diana Dawes' house and all this kind of stuff going on. And Bob Monkhouse, he seemed like a bit of a boy back then.
Oh, really? Did he? Well, I never went to orgy parties. I heard about them.
They're not orgy parties.
Oh, well, the orgy... Well, I don't know. It's all... This is all... That's a new word to me.
You can't even get your mouth around the word. You'd be no good there, would you? Hello, La. Am I in the right place for the orgy party?
I would do that. I would do... Because that's not in my vocabulary. Orgy.
Let's talk about Blind Date a bit.
Okay.
How long have you been doing Blind Date for now?
This is my 18th series.
Wow, that's incredible. It's got to be almost like a record in TV, I thought, for a show to stay at the top for that long.
I think, well, it is an incredible record. I'm really excited about the new series because we've introduced this date or ditch thing, which is, the audience have a chance, you know, to sort of have a say in the matter whether the girl should choose the guy.
We're going to see a clip of this in a minute, but I always thought the fun part was when the curtain went up and that you realised they were going out with a monster. you know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes they get the ones, you know, they put in there because everyone else was going, ah! Not that one! Let's have a look. This is the new look Blind Date.
Hello and welcome back. Now, before the break, Andy picked Vicky here. However, this is date or ditch, so he can still change his mind and go with number 3, who he's yet to see. Now, everyone at home has seen what Andy's ex-girlfriend thinks, but it's up to you, Andy. Are you going to date or are you going to ditch? What shall he do, ladies and gentlemen? Andy,
right, Cilla, shall I put you all out of your misery?
They always found different ways of spicing up, because I remember seeing, you did it for a while, you did some specials which had gay couples, which was, I thought, quite brave. You did old... Yeah, didn't you do a gay couple one? I must have seen it in the nightclub then.
I have never done a gay blind date.
Well, you should do a gay blind date.
We've had a few guys, and I suspect girls, who we found out while they've been on the date that they have been gay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You know, they're going out with a... You know, but
yes.
are they like bisexual or weekenders?
I don't believe... There is no such thing as bisexuality.
You don't believe so?
No.
Oh.
No.
What, so you think you
I think they're just greedy. I really do.
Can't
Especially
get it
with guys. Guys are not bisexual.
You know,
No, they're not. They'll always end up with a fella.
You think so?
They do, I know so. I'm the madam, trust me.
But as Frankie Howe once said to me, you don't want to go through life without tasting all the fruits.
Stop it.
You've done OAPs, haven't you? Okay.
Have I?
Yeah, you've done... Not
on
you,
Blind Date?
On Blind Date, yeah. You thought... Sorry, that was one of Ulrika's questions. I'm sorry. Sven counts, he's an OAP, isn't he? Cilla, you know, genuinely, I've been a fan of yours for years, really. I mean, you know about the Aladdin thing.
Yes, yes.
I used to have your poster hidden underneath a Starsky and Hutch poster so my brothers didn't find out. And that night, I'd kiss you goodnight.
Oh, well.
Occasionally, I'd get Terry Scott by mistake, but that was, you know, all the nightmares. But you've got a new album coming out next year, though, I believe.
Yes, yeah. It's just to celebrate.
I would like you to come back on and sing when you have the album.
Would you
do that?
really?
Yeah, no, I really would. I would love you to come back on and sing. We've got Tom tonight.
I know you have.
And what I love about Tom is Tom's kind of reinvented himself over the last 2 years, very cleverly. I mean, he's working with different younger people. He's changed his style.
But hey, the voice is there. I mean, if you've got talent, you don't lose it overnight. I mean, he's got a great, great voice.
Yeah. We're going to bring Tom out to sing now. Will you stick around? I just want to chat to him briefly, and
Absolutely.
I think the two of you together, marvellous. Ladies and gentlemen, Cilla Black.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cilla. Thank you. All right, well, we've had a packed show already, but we're going to squeeze some more entertainment in for you, because coming out now, I think we have the greatest singer the country has ever produced. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Tom Jones. Tom, it's always great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
You know, if you wrote a book like Ulrika's, it would have to be enormous, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You've copulated for Britain. Can I just ask, and please, Cilla, you don't have to answer this. You and Cilla, did you have
Well, we did tour together, you know.
Well, I don't see Tommy like that.
I've never heard anyone call you Tommy before. That sounds so weird.
Well, Lynn does.
Well, yeah.
Is that what friends call you,
My
Tommy?
wife, yeah, my wife calls me, you know.
Yeah, and you still make me call you Mr. Jones when we meet in the hallways.
Exactly.
Tommy has a new album out. Soon, next year, you've got the single out now, haven't you?
Yeah, the single's coming out this month and the album Comes out on November the 4th.
The album's
this
called
year.
Mr. Jones. It's fantastic. The single is terrific. He's going to perform it for you now. You're working with Wycliffe Jean, is that right? Jean?
Yeah,
Wycliffe Jean?
Wycliffe Jean.
Wycliffe Jean.
It's a French name.
An unusual combination now. You sorted him out. I mean, because you did kind of the indie thing a couple of years ago with Reload.
Yeah.
And now this is what, R&B, hip-hop?
Yeah, exactly. He said, you know, you're a soul singer. I said, oh, thanks very much. You know, coming from him, it's a, you know, it's a compliment. So he said, this is, what's in your heart? What do you really want to do? And I said, well, I want to do some, you know, some soul music. Yeah. And he said, that's what it'll be. Soul 2002.
I'm a little disappointed. You don't rap on the album. I'd love to hear you getting down and rapping.
Well,
MC Tommy J.
No, he said...
in the house.
You'd be really great.
No, but it's, you know, fair play for Wycliffe. He said, look, don't try to compete with these kids, these rappers, you know, these young hip-hop singers. They have a style. You know what I mean? So he said, you do you, and then let me do the sounds.
Which is, it's a great combination there. He's, I met Wycliffe a little while ago. Really pleasant fellow. I really enjoyed his company.
Yeah.
He had on so much gold and stuff. I'm surprised he could even lift his hands up. He was, it was like his fingers were...
It's come back in fashion now.
The bling and the bling, they
Yeah,
call
because
it.
you know, I mean, they used to criticise me sometimes for wearing jewellery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So...
Well, look what you got on
I used to
tonight.
wear that rabbit foot, remember
Yeah,
that?
and the rabbit's foot, so I used to wear a lot of stuff, you know, so...
What's that watch, though? That looks like that must be worth a few quid.
Yeah, it's called a Vanderbo. It's a new company.
Look at that. What's it made out of?
What do you think it's made out of?
Well, some sort of metal, but
yeah, it's
I'm
gold.
curious. It's solid
white
white
gold?
gold.
It's white gold, yeah.
And what are the jewels? Are they diamonds?
No, there's no diamonds. The diamonds are there.
What's the sparkly bits around the top of this?
That's just the way it's cut.
sparkling.
It's the way it's cut.
It's like, I tell you, you don't want to go out in the sun. A magpie will have you away in a second.
Well,
Yeah. Well, you've got the bling bling on tonight, though, haven't you? What's that around your neck there? Let's have a look.
Well,
hold it a second. Prepare yourselves at home. You might want to look away from the screen and adjust your eyes.
Well, I've always worn a cross and chain. You know, that's always
that
been.
one, though.
But now, you see, they got diamonds in them. So I thought, well, I better, if I'm going to work with Wycliffe, I better, you know, better step up.
Do you have any advice for Cilla? She's doing a new album next year. You are back with the kids. You bling bling. You MC.
Well, I
Tommy
can't
G,
go
you know.
bling bling and
You're bling bling already, aren't you?
Am I?
We
The
got a bit
bling
of
blings are diamonds.
You're
that's what-
bling.
Oh, are they?
It's slang for diamonds. I didn't know that,
I
believe
didn't
me.
even know what an orgy was.
Don't go looking for him for sympathy. He invented them. Tom, I want you to try a couple of rap phrases out for me, OK?
Oh,
come on. You can do it. I'd like to hear some rap in that Welsh accent, OK? Just repeat after me.
OK.
I'll pop a cap in your ass.
I'll pop a cap in your ass.
Yep.
See, but ass, I'd have to say ass, wouldn't I, if I was
Yes, yeah.
You're an American, you know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know. I've been smoking the chronic.
What?
I don't know either. It's written down for me.
The chronic?
I've been smoking the chronic.
Oh, I've been smoking the chronic.
I like you've got the hand going already.
Yeah.
Either that or you've got palsy. I'm not sure.
He's cruel about us, isn't he?
I know.
I'm sorry.
See, yeah.
You wait till you get to our age. It won't be long.
I tell you, I've gone already. You can see that. It's true. It's true. But you know, it's true. I was making love to my wife the other night. She said, what's that noise? It was my hip. Click, 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 click. She thought someone was trying to get in downstairs.
Well, it was you.
It ruined the... Oh, Cilla!
Well, I'm cooking now. I've had enough. I've had enough.
Yes. That's it.
You've lowered the tone of the whole show now. Tom, you're going to sing your new single for us. The single is called Tom Jones International. It deserves to be a huge hit for you. But the album I've listened to, it really is. I'm genuinely saying this. It's terrific. The second track, Younger Days, I love. Who did you write that? It seems so personal.
Wycliffe wrote it, but he felt he wasn't... he hadn't been in the business long enough to sing it, because it's about reflecting on your younger, rowdy days, you know. So, I mean, it's... With him, he's still young and he's still rowdy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we needed somebody that was old and rowdy, which I say on the thing. You know, I was young and rowdy, now I'm old and rowdy, but I'm still rowdy, though.
Yeah. Well, you haven't calmed down yet, have you?
No.
Do you plan... is there an end in sight? I mean, when are you going to...
Hopefully not. I mean, you know.
What about a book? Because we were talking about Ulrika's book.
No, I don't really want to write a book. There are too many people alive, you know.
Yeah.
That are still alive. But I would have
You mean on the whole planet,
Who
Tom?
wouldn't be after that? You know? No, you know what I mean. If I was gonna do it, I'd have to tell the whole truth. Oh, wow. You know, and some people that are still around would maybe not like it. But I wouldn't want to do it. I'm a singer. I'm not a writer.
I would love to have that book. I tell you what, just dictate it for me, will you? Imagine having that in your car. Anyway, you don't know he's banging this one. My boyfriend said he'd pop a cup in my ass. I didn't even know what it was. Cilla Black said, come to an orgy. I didn't know what he did. I'm sorry about the accent. I don't know what that was. I apologise. Oh, God. Tom,
am I going to sing after that?
I want you to. Are you ready to sing now? Do you want to gargle a bit?
Well, I forgot what the bloody song was.
The song is Tom Jones International, is that right?
That's right.
It's a great take. It's a single. It's out very soon. Get yourself a copy. But in the meantime, will you say thank you to Mr. Tom Jones? Always a pleasure, Tom. Tom, if you want to go and get yourself limbered up, you see. Okay. That is about all we've got time for. Join me next week when my guests will be Debbie Harry, the brilliant Omid Jalili, and more boys from Wales, the Manic Street Preachers. But now with his new single, Tom Jones International, it is, of course, the one, the only. There will never be another. Mr. Tom Jones!
Forgot what it feels like. Pussycats come out late night. No matter where they roam, they're always gonna come home. 30 years strong, never went wrong. Still in the game, I'll decide when I'm gone. Now I'm gonna set the whole house on fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. You know and I know we've got to move on the dance floor. We're blowing up this party with this sex bomb. Take my hand, understand, I've been rocking for years all across the land. So let me see you shake it till the sun comes. 1, 2. 1, 2 times coming for you. 3, 4, girl, boys through your door. 5, 6. 5, 6, you better lock up your chicks. 7, 8, before it's too late. Act right, ladies, and forgot what it feels like. Pussycats come out late night, no matter where they roam. Now you're in the mood, let me see you move. I got you hypnotized with the sound of my groove. From London to LA and back to the NY. Turn up your satellite so we can see it worldwide. You know and I know we've got to move on the dance floor. We're blowing up this party with this sex bomb. Take my hand, understand, I've been rocking for years all across the land. So let me see you shake it till the sun comes. 1, 2. 1, 2 times coming for you. 3, 4, girl, pass through your door. 5, 6. 5, 6, you better lock up your chicks. 7, 8, before it's too late. Act like ladies, you forgot what it feels like. Pussycats come out late night. Girl, you make me wanna holler.
Baby. 1, 2 times coming for you. 3, 4, girl, boys through your door.
5, 6.
You better lock up your chicks. 7, 8, before it's too late.
Act right, ladies, and forgot what it feels like. Pussycats come out late night, no matter where they roam. They're always gonna come home to Tom Jones.